Hey, wild ones. Come along. We're going on a snow adventure. After an extended drought and devastating wildfire season, we finally got some snowfall in Southern California. So, the moment the storm passed, I trekked up to the closest mountain trail I could access in Mount Baldy, California. Now, if you know me, I'm not a cold weather person. Voluntary cold exposure gets a lot of attention these days, and for good reason, as there are a myriad of benefits to challenging one's system in this way. In extreme cases like migraine or anxiety, I've received major benefits from a cold shower myself. For me, cold exposure with consistency or with temperatures lower than a cold shower, my system becomes overactivated and leaves me feeling uncomfortable and even sick. But I was in the mood for a winter adventure and had the bright and terrifying idea to go barefoot walking in the snow for a fun YouTube video. So here we are. After bundling up in my warmest layers and donning my beloved Bahay grounding and waterproof barefoot hiking boots, my beefcake and I set off for a snowy morning adventure. It was a winter wonderland indeed. I don't visit the snow very often, so it's always a novel experience for me when I do. Of course, I was enamored with the fresh white contrasted with the greenery of the trail and the bright blue winter sky. The cold was exhilarating, but I was grateful for my heavy coat and warm boots. I wasn't ready to take them off to sample the terrain barefoot just yet. I wanted to warm up by hiking a bit first. As the morning sun rose higher, the snow at the tops of the trees began to melt and drop down on top of us. It made for such a unique and fun experience. As I began to gain elevation and the sun crept higher into the sky, I definitely began to warm up. The trail was busy, so when I came across this quiet creekside cutaway, I had to take pause to soak in all the winter wonderland sights, scents, and sounds. And decided to start braving the cold by opening up a couple of my layers, preparing for my dauntingly cold barefoot steps ahead. I carried on with my walk a bit further. The snow was melting pretty fast and it was very icy. Do people seriously do this barefoot? I could barely get any grip with my boots on. I was impressed with how warm they kept my feet, but next time I do this, I'll definitely make sure to add spikes for better traction. I decided to turn around here because some of the icy parts of this steep trail were downright dangerous. Back toward the trailhead, closer to the warmth of my Subaru and the local lodge's hot bowl of chili I was looking forward to, I decided to gently prepare myself for at least a little barefooting by first setting up for a yoga practice. I was nice and warm from the steep steps I had already taken, so layering down wasn't nearly as challenging as I expected it to be. The cold has my whole system already on alert, so I felt really nervous. I know that in truth I was safe on a well-populated trail and with my beloved just off frame. So rather than letting my nerves get the better of me, I slowed myself down. There was nothing to be in a rush for. I made myself calmly take my time, setting up and braiding my hair, giving myself a mental pep talk all the while. With my hair tied out of my way, I was ready to take off my last layers and start my movement practice. Oh, but wait, I have to take off my warm boots first. This feels more than a little nuts. After all, my boots are both grounded and minimalist, eliminating any real need for me to remove them. However, I'm doing this as a different wellness self-care practice, sitting with discomfort. Barefoot walking and cold exposure are two of many ways I safely and willingly choose discomfort. Maintaining a discomfort practice improves both mental and physical capacity and adaptability. This practice has healed and evolved my life in more ways than I can even describe, and I can't recommend it highly enough. Knowing I can deal with challenges willingly means that when life deals unpredictable complications, I can handle it with better decision-making, less stress, and smoother outcomes. For my discomfort practice, whether it's cold exposure, barefooting challenging terrain, holding complicated yoga postures, rucking long distances, endurance and HIIT exercise, or sitting for an extended sauna session, the most important thing to be aware of is my breath, as it is the only ever-present constant. If I can stay aware of the rhythm, pace, depth, and location of my breath, I can stay in control of my mind and body in any life circumstance, whether joyful or terrifying, chosen or imposed. We all have our limits, both conscious and subconscious, and maintaining balanced breathing is the best way to ensure my mental and physical boundaries are met without overstepping. Does it seem hard, but my breath is smooth and easy? I can probably handle a little more of a challenge. Or if I think I can keep pushing, but my breath is shallow and racing, I need to dial back before my body bonks or I get an injury. I'd love to hear if you have a discomfort-seeking practice, and what ways you choose your discomfort, and what methods do you use to stay present with it. Back to my chilly yoga practice. Between the crowds looming nearby, the icy snowmelt chunks landing on my head, the discomfort of the cold, and the most distracting thought, the barefoot steps in the snow I promised I'd take, I couldn't really be bothered with sequencing anything fancy. I just needed to move. So I settled into a series of straightforward sun salutations, the simple, repeated movements ensuring I kept my body warm and my mind as still as possible. I flowed this way briefly, feeling completely enlivened by the experience until I started thinking about that hot bowl of chili I planned to order at the nearby lodge. Of all the things to distract me, my hunger, of course, was what made me throw in the towel. Oh, but don't worry, I didn't forget my promise. Time to push my boundary just a little further before I head back to the warmth of the Subaru. Slowly, gingerly, I stepped off my blanket to play barefoot in the snow. Except it felt more like knives than snow, and I quickly aborted my mission. Sorry, barefoot friends. That's not how I pictured this scene to go either.
Nope. So much now.
Oh, fuck. Oh, I hate it. Oh, I hate it. Oh my god, I hate it.
Oh well, I did my best. Thanks for watching. Time to go get me some of that hot chili. Happy grounding.